We're going to be talking about positive body image today and how we can help other women and ourselves have positive body image. I originally started thinking about this because Pinterest and Tumblr made it against their terms of service to post pictures or entries about self-harm, which basically includes different topics like self-injury and pro-anorexia and pro-eating disorder. The inspiration. I'm not here to talk about if that was a good change or a bad change. What I'm here to talk about is the reaction to it. The large response was to say that these images, these posts were disgusting or strange, or why would anyone ever post this? The conversation wasn't about what underlies those photos and posts, which is negative body image, and not only that, but a serious problem with eating disorders. Instead of having a conversation about why young women feel they need to be skinny or a size 2 and feel they need to live up to that, the conversation instead was about how disgusting and scary it was. And to me, that's kind of like hurtful to women in general, that instead of talking about the real issues facing women today, we instead judge them and condemn them for posting these images. And that just kind of made me mad. And I hope that after you watch this video, you'll give me advice, and also everyone else watching this video advice, about what we can do as, you know, women and men who are interacting with other people and facing negative body image every day. What can we do to help other people? Also, if we know people who are suffering from eating disorders, what can we do to help those people? So in this video, I'm going to give you about 4 or 5 tips on how to start that conversation or even change that conversation. My first tip is to realize that most of the things you see in the media, in magazines, are photoshopped. Now, when you look at the image of a celebrity in People magazine or Elle or Teen Vogue, it is photoshopped unless it clearly says we're doing special Photoshop free. It's photoshopped, which most likely means it's entirely fake and that person does not look like they really do in real life. In real life, they probably have wrinkles and lines on their face and zits. Realize that what you're seeing is not real, and if it's not real, then there's no way you could live up to it. And you shouldn't want to live up to it, because if you didn't have lines or wrinkles or smile lines, you wouldn't be a real person. The second step is, a lot of times in groups of women, the conversation eventually turns to talking negatively about yourself. You've been there before where your friends are like, oh, I'm so fat, or oh, my hair is horrible, or oh, my nose is too big. Just say, you know, you're beautiful, or I really love this about you, and then say a feature you really like about them. And say, well, why do you feel that way? You know, what's going on that you're speaking so poorly about yourself? Change the conversation that we're having with our friends. That can make a pretty big impact. Instead of saying things that we hate about ourselves, why don't we start saying things that we like about ourselves, or positive things that are happening in our life? Really just changing the conversation in your group of friends. Third tip is to, when you are with your friends and they start talking negatively about other women, is to stop talking about other women negatively. If you hear someone say, oh, she's fat, or she's ugly, or she's not size 8, or whatever the insult is, you can either, 1, not partake in it if you don't feel like a confrontation, because let's be honest, there's days when you don't want to confront people. Or you could just say, hey, you know, I really don't think it's very nice to talk about someone in that way. Why don't we just change the conversation? Or you could also say, you know, I really like that person and I think this is really great about them. You know, just kind of keeping the conversation positive and not looking down on other women for the way they look or the way you think that they should look. Because at the end of the day, they're just real girls like you. The fourth tip is to look for realistic role models. If you start looking up to realistic women, it may not put so much pressure on you to try to look a certain way, because you'll be focused on other goals in your life, such as, you know, getting grades or getting a job you want or graduating school or whatever your goals are. So basically, looking up to real women and setting real goals. My fifth tip, which is, you know, not really a tip and probably something I should have said at the beginning, is that if you are suffering from poor body image or even an eating disorder, there's always help out there. You can talk to a doctor or a teacher or your friend or your mom or your dad. If you don't feel comfortable talking to those people, you can always talk to your friends. Really explain what you're going through and, you know, try to find people who will listen to you, because it's hard to go through these things, and if you are really struggling with something that you feel you need help with, then I really super encourage you to reach out to get the help that you need, because negative body image isn't something you should have to suffer from. You should feel good about yourself when you wake up in the morning, but a lot of times it takes a lot of work to feel that way. So please do consider getting help. I hope these tips helped you, and please leave me a comment so that other people who are watching this video can get your tips on how to feel good about themselves, and then hopefully we can get a conversation started about positive body image, not negative body image, and not blaming each other or passing judgment upon each other for feeling less than worthy or less than perfect, because you don't need to feel that way. You should just want to feel like yourself. And I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.